Welcome back to the Story Report. My name is Tom and I'm the team leader of the Story team, and we sell real estate in Toronto. In this month's episode, I want to go over three main topics. Number one is, how is the market performing overall right now? Have things changed in the last 30, 60 days? Number two is the new CMHC regulations that are going to affect buyers in Canada. And number three, what's going to happen in the future? Are bidding wars back? Is the market going to get better? Is it going to get worse? I'm going to go over all that in today's episode. So here's what the numbers are telling us. In the condo side of things, if you look at the March numbers, our average sale price was about $712,000. Then, if you look what happened in April, it was only $612,000. So we saw a significant change. Now, anyone that sold their property in April was probably in a position that they really needed to sell, so we have to keep that in mind. And then if you look in May, it's almost like the condo market jumped right back up, almost to what it was in March. Not quite as high, but it looks like there's been a huge bounce back. And this is a trend that we're seeing in all asset classes right now. If we look at the detached market, in March, the average sale price was $1.465. In April, it went all the way down to $1.249. And then in May, just like what we saw in condos, it jumped right back up. It's at $1.422. This is what I think happened. March, the first 15 days of March were extremely active in our marketplace, and then, the world shut down. So April numbers were always going to be low, but I'm actually surprised that it only took a month for everything to bounce back, and I think it's because there's been so much pent-up demand for real estate. And over the last 3 months, even though sales numbers have been down, new listings have also been down almost the same amount, and that's been holding prices. And then we'll look at the semi-detached market. And again, these numbers are going to look very similar to what we saw before. In March, we had 1.155. Then we had just under 1.1 in April. And then we jumped all the way back up to 1.143. So you can see across the board here, our prices aren't quite what they were in March, but they're significantly higher than we saw in April. Okay, so over the next 2-3 months, we're going to see that pent-up demand come back to the market. I think it's actually going to be fairly busy. But then, as we head into September, October, when the government money is going to stop, unless they extend it, and the people that took these 6 months mortgage deferral stops, they're going to have to make a hard decision. Are they going to start paying it back, or are they going to sell the property? So something that I would really keep my eye on moving forward is, first of all, what's the true unemployment rate? When the government money stops and when the mortgage deferrals stop, how's that going to affect our market? So I don't think we're out of this by any means, but as of right now, it's looking encouraging. We're going to have to see what plays out in the future. CMHC has been making a lot of news lately. It feels like they just need some attention. They need to make a change that would just stir up the real estate industry. So, in the last 2 months, they've basically said that prices would not recover in Canada until the end of 2021. So they came out with that headline. Then they came out and said that prices in Canada were going to go down 18%, which a lot of real estate companies came back and called them fear-mongering, and they didn't like that. And now they've made a change that's actually going to impact people. So here's the new change in regulations that CMHC has made that will go into effect on July 1st, 2020. So first of all, for CMHC, this only applies if you're putting down less than 20% on a property. And if you buy a property over $1 million, it does not apply because you have to put down 20% or more on a property over $1 million. Starting on July 1st, the Canadian Mortgage and Housing Corp, CMHC, says it will no longer allow home buyers to use borrowed funds for their down payment. It will also require a credit score from at least one borrower of minimum 680, and now this used to be 600, they've jumped to 680. And it will lower the threshold for how much debt applicants can carry compared to their income. So CMHC is lowering the maximum GDS from 39% to 35%, and the maximum TDS from 44% to 42%. So if you just heard that and you're like, well, what does that mean? Well, what it means is people will have less purchasing power. It's almost like CMHC got bitter when they put out their headline that the numbers were gonna go down, and everyone came back at them that they're like, well, we're gonna show you, we're gonna make the numbers go down. So this is gonna make a change on the market, and I think there's actually gonna be an influx of buyers that are gonna wanna get properties done, sold, and firmed up before July 1st when these new regulations kick in, because you're gonna have less purchasing power. For the average person, it's looking like 5 to 10% less, so it will have a big impact on our market, and we're gonna have to see how this plays out. All right, that's it. Thank you so much for watching this episode of the Story Report. If you want, you can follow us online. We are very active on Instagram at The Story Team. Or hey, if you want to book an appointment with me, you can always go to our website and book in a buyer consultation, a seller consultation, or even just give me a call and we'll chat about the market. Hope you're having an awesome day. Stay safe out there, and remember, home is where your story begins.